And everyone, welcome to Wrestling with Comedy. We are live throughout the country and throughout the world. What an episode we have here for you tonight. Thank you all for joining us. One quick announcement and a shout out to everyone and a sincere thank you. I would like to thank everyone as we have recently hit 800 subscribers, and those are not paid subscribers. Those are genuine, authentic subscribers. 800 subscribers, and we really appreciate that as a Wrestling with Comedy podcast, and the channel itself, comedian Real Deal Joel Davis, grows. Thank you at 800 subscribers currently. Tonight's episode is a big one. It's episode 57. She is coming in from Rochester, Minnesota. She's a stand-up comedian. She's also a promoter and producer. She runs the, and she's involved with the Comedy Bunker Comedy Club over there, the world famous over there at the Alden Hills. And she's also the creator of the Lafin comedy. She works with the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, the Welcome Home program. She's also running her way up to walk the runway during the New York Fashion Week. She could win $20K. She wants to possibly be your next runaway star, and you can vote if that's still going on. We'll talk to Lori about that a little bit later. She also runs the big shows, the Disables. August 28th was a big show she had there at the Charles Eatery Pub at 1654 U.S. Highway 52 in Rochester, Minnesota. She's got a big show coming up Saturday, September 26th, the Stand Up for Mental Health, a great cause, in Lansing Corners in Austin, Minnesota. She's been working the open mic nights over there at Midnight Howls, at the Lafin Comedy at the Zen Fusion. She's got For Those Laughs comedy show was passed August 27. She was over there in Rochester, Minnesota. She's done so much. She's a pleasure. I'm so happy to have her here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy. I am your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis, former professional wrestler, MMA fighter, motivational speaker, currently promoter, podcaster, and comedian. And our guest tonight is Lori Finlay. Lori, welcome to Wrestling with Comedy.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm surprised I was ever on your radar, so thank you so much for having me. It's an honor.
Oh yeah, Lori. No, you were there was a guest that gave a great reference on you, and I said, wowza! I said, this lady here is really working hard out there in Minnesota, and it's I'm so happy to have you here, and a pleasure to have you here tonight. It's always great and so refreshing to work with the pros like you are. Lori, when did you start up in stand-up comedy? Where was it, and who was it for? Can you talk about it?
Yes, absolutely. It was right before I turned 40 years old, so it was about 12 years ago. I really wanted to try comedy, and so I was here in Rochester, Minnesota. It was a place called Goonies Comedy Club, downtown Rochester. Fantastic, phenomenal comedy club. My first time, the host was John Russell. He was incredible, and I fell in love with it from day one, and I'd always wanted to do comedy. I just didn't have the confidence to put myself out there to do it. So I thought, grow up, you're going to be 40, get her done.
Oh yeah, that's so great. And what year was that?
That was okay. So now you're making me do math. That 2005, 2015, 2014.
2014. Okay,
yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, so that's quite a few years ago, actually. So you've been in stand up comedy now for 12 years. Like you said, you started off when you were 40 years old. You gave away your age right away. You look much younger than your age, just so you know.
Well, thank you.
Well, I'm just being honest, Lori. We keep it real here. This is the Real Deal Joel Davis. No bullshit going on. We just say it out. Lori, a quick question before we get to the massive comments coming in here for you already. Very popular individual you are. I can see by the comments coming in here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy, episode 57. Where were you born and where do you live right now?
So I was born in Korea, but my parts were made in Taiwan. So I had to move to Rochester, Minnesota. I had a lot of surgeries done at Mayo Clinic, and, they're obsessed with condiments here. So I live in Rochester now, but I was originally born in Korea and I was adopted. So.
Oh, okay. And you've done so much here in America, and you're doing all these charities. We're going to talk about it, but we want to get to some of these comments here. You got Lori Finlay saying, "Hi everyone."
Well, that's me actually.
Okay, that's your sister. Well, she's here for you, just so you know. Uh, Someone here, Willie Conway, saying you have a show in Minnesota and it's been snowed in, or something to that effect. A bunker would be convenient for that situation.
Yes.
Ema 100 saying Lori 100% and clapping for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So we got, and there was some other comments here saying they're here, the real deal. We appreciate everybody here tonight joining us. Lori Finlay's here tonight, stand-up comedian, producer, also promoter, doing so much work out there in the state of Minnesota. Very busy on the circuit, also all through social media. And just one talented lady, and she's just, someone that, you if you have any questions for, take the opportunity to ask her here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy, and I'm sure Lori wouldn't be, hesitant to answer those questions. Lori, you got a lot going on. Let's talk about this, the show for the disabled. This sounds like a really unique, type of show. You had one August 28 over there at Charlie's Eatery. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So Brian Rutzman, Whitney Haverstock, Sam Bondis, Matt Eagle-Eye Higgins, Ray, oh my goodness, Raymond Joseph,
Yes.
and Dakota Fornes all put together a group called the Disableds. Every person in that group is disabled, and in some shape or capacity at some form. So they put together this amazing comedy group. I had them come to the bunker up in Arden Hills. They slayed the stage, and I just can't help but want to support and get them anywhere I possibly can, because they are absolutely great. We had such a great show on Friday night. It was amazing. So they're hilarious, and don't we all want to laugh at disableds? So.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that you're giving these folks, these people opportunities to get up there, and that's just a great thing. I mean, so they're the comedians. So the disabled are actually the comedians, and
Yes.
and they can laugh at their situation, I'm sure, and right, they're amazing, right? And you've been working with them for how long now? Was that your first show, or you've been with them for a while?
This is they have their own little comedy group that they do. So the disabled are completely different outside of me. I've just been fortunate enough to produce a couple of shows for them at different venues that I hold. So it's been, I absolutely love working with them. And if you haven't heard of the Disabled group or you haven't seen them, I highly recommend you get out there and you do it. It's incredible. So if you see them coming to an area near you, go to the show. They're phenomenal. And I am also disabled, but it wasn't a prerequisite to actually produce a show for them. So.
Oh, wow. That's just incredible stories here. Right off the get-go tonight on Wrestling with Comedy, episode 57. Lori Finlay's here with us tonight. She's a comedian. She's not only a stand-up comedian for the last 14 years, she's also a promoter and producer, working with a lot of charity organizations and also giving a lot of people opportunities that they might not have if it wasn't for someone like Lori Finlay. Now, Lori, you had the big show there August 27, Four for Laughs, almost like a golf theme over there, a comedy show at 3708 North Broadway Ave, Suite 140 in Rochester, Minnesota. How did that show go? Tell the people about it.
Oh, so the group at Chip Shots have been wonderful to me. This is our fourth For the Laugh show there. It's phenomenal. We bring in great comedians, or I should say I bring in great comedians. So I had the Other Guys Comedy, which is Dylan Meek and Jason Clemens. And then I also had Ben Trahey, who's a local comedian here, and Josh Torgerson, who's also a local comedian here. And it's so much fun to be able to bring local comedy to light, to bring in visiting comedians, and Chip Shots has just been amazing to give us a home to showcase our talent and say, here we are, we're amazing too, and give us that exposure. So I've had so much really, really great support from the community here in Rochester as far as the venues, businesses working with me. And that's all I can ask for. It's been wonderful. So.
That's great. And no surprise here, just by the correspondence with you over the last 4 weeks or so. What a pleasure you are to have, Lori. And listen, I'm just keeping it real, and you're welcome. And you know what? And that's what really makes the podcast what it is. And it's so great for everyone. And speaking of that, this is good for everyone, especially when it comes to even mental health. And with that being said, you have a show coming up on Saturday, September 26th. I believe it's a benefit for the mental health. It's a stand-up for mental health is the title, if I'm correct. And it's in Lansing Corners, Austin, Minnesota. Lori, how was it to put this show together? Who do you have performing? And are there tickets available for that Saturday, September 26th?
Yes. So Clint Naramore was actually it was his brainchild. He's working with Beyond the Shadows, which is a nonprofit organization there in Austin, Minnesota, to help with mental health resources and things along those lines. Steve Patterson is the owner of Lansing Corners, and he is such a phenomenal, first of all, he's a great comedian. Second of all, he's a phenomenal supporter of comedy, has amazing comedy shows there. And they brought me in and asked if I would be willing to feature and also kind of help out with that. So we recently did an open mic stand-up comedy competition, and the winner of that was going to get a paid gig to open for Sean Weiss. Sean Weiss, of course, from Mighty Ducks. He was Goldberg, the forever beloved goalie in Mighty Ducks.
Yes.
And so he will be coming to headline that show. Obviously, mental health is very important to him as well. And we're going to raise money. And then Joe Mason actually won the comedy competition, so he will be opening that day. Joe Mason, and it was his second time doing comedy, and let me tell you, this kid is a natural. He's so funny and so spot on. His delivery is amazing. Like, it's so much fun to watch. I love seeing newer comedians really come out of their shell and step into a position to where they're like, oh my gosh, I can do this. This is amazing. And I always figure if I can do it, anybody can do it. So it's really neat to see the newer talent coming out and taking their place on stage.
Yes, and such a good cause too. And the proceeds, I believe, go to mental health awareness. The
proceeds all go to Beyond the Shadows, so that mental health awareness resource in Austin, Minnesota. And then, yes, tickets are still available. You can go to LansingCorners.com and reserve your tickets there. And it's going to be an amazing show for an amazing cause. We all believe in great mental health awareness, and it's our job to be part of that motion. So we definitely want to make sure that we're doing the right things to support our communities and the fans, if laughter is the best medicine. So for me, it's been a saving grace. So I can't imagine that I can't help others too.
Oh yeah, it's a fact. Let's be honest, it's a fact. That's the fact, Jack, so to speak. People don't realize it's really the truth. It's to laugh and to be able to enjoy and just comedy itself can be so rewarding and really bring your mental health up and make make your day just so much better, especially when you're having those tough days. You got Brent Relly here saying here, "Hey Lori." You got William Conway saying that he was duly diagnosed and was in the POW for 92 days in 2002.
Wow.
So he appreciates what you do, and you work. Yeah, there you go. And you work with the combat veterans, I guess, as a motorcycle association welcome home program. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I've been honored to be asked to be a part of it. They're doing a welcome home celebration over Labor Day weekend at the Blue Earth County Fairgrounds. And I was asked to curate a show for them to bring some comedians in. So I have Willie Olgan, who's an amazing comedian from Wilmer, Minnesota. And then Zach Scharf, who's one of my dear, sweet comedy partners, as I consider him, in producing, in performing, in all of those things. Again, kind of a newer comedian to the scene, but absolutely incredible. So they will be joining me for that show. And Sergio Salgado, who's an amazing, incredible producer and comedian as well from Mankato, was the one who connected me with Lauren and said, "Hey Lori, could you do this for us?" And I'm like, absolutely. I'm honored to be asked. I love to do things and give back, because I think that if we don't care about what's going on, we don't care about our veterans, we don't care about our homeless, we don't care about people with disabilities, how can we ask them to care about us?
Yes, that makes sense, and it's really authentic what you're saying, because it's sincere. It's one of those things that people got to realize, that People need people. You know, I was told that years and years ago. It's so true, Lori. People need people. If you just joined us, it's episode 57, Wrestling with Comedy. I'm your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis. And what a show we have here tonight. Lori Finlay coming in from Rochester, Minnesota, live here on YouTube. We're here every Tuesday, every Thursday night. Yeah, with a new guest and a new episode. Twice a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us here for guests just like you're seeing here tonight. Lori Finlay, what a class act she is. The Downtown Comedy you're working over there in Mankato, Minnesota, is that a open mic or is that something that you produce?
In Mankato, Minnesota, they just opened a brand new venue called Jux Comedy, and it's music and concerts and things like that. It's an incredible venue they just opened. So I had the pleasure of performing with Stephen Lawley, Atul Patel, and Sergio Salgado just a couple weeks ago. And phenomenal venue, phenomenal show. And then I also had the pleasure of doing kind of the very first comedy show there when they first opened. So. Willis and Sergio and the whole team out there are doing an incredible job, and they have comedy there quite often now. So please, if you see a show going on there, you're in the Mankato area, please go check them out. They're doing great things there.
That's great. And rewinding back to that September 26th show, we're going to drop the link for tickets underneath this podcast episode. So if anybody wants tickets, Laurie, I'll make sure that's done. Between you and I will take care of that. You're welcome. I'll make sure it's taken care of. That's Saturday, September 26th. Stand Up for Mental Health, Lansing Corners in Austin, Minnesota. Plenty of time to get tickets and support such a great cause. And Lori Finlay will be your featured comedian that night, and I think she has something to say about that show.
Well, I was also going to say Lansing Corners puts together so they have amazing comedians coming. They have Jeff Leeson, Carlos Mencina, Ben Bankus, of course, the Sean Weiss show, and I'll actually be featuring for Jeff Leeson as well. So that'll be a really exciting event. So, and you can get tickets for all of those shows at lansingcorners.com.
Oh, beautiful. So that link will be basically multi-purpose. You could get tickets for all these different shows. Absolutely. And, you know, it's a great way to go. You know, Laurie, I heard about this a little bit. Tell us about it. I mean, you're doing so much. I don't know if there's 24 hours in a day. You're doing so much, and you're also working with, asking maybe for a vote or two for the Walk the Runway during New York Fashion. Is that all? Is that done?
That's over. I didn't make the semifinals. Oh. I kind of slacked on asking people to vote for me. So I ended up in fourth, but I really appreciate everybody who did vote for me. I kind of it was just a random fluke. It was like, hey, do you want to win $20,000? Yeah. And the only reason I actually applied for it was because it said any size, any shape, any age. And I thought I can fit into some of those roles.
That's funny.
So I thought, well, hey, if nothing else, you know, I may never hear back, and it might be nothing. But it was really neat to get to the quarterfinals, and, you know, I'll take that as a compliment. Oh, yeah. And I appreciate everyone who supported me. It was kind of a fluke. I used to live in New York City for a little bit. I was a nanny for a minute, and it was literally a minute. And then I ended up moving in with a gal named Heidi I lived right by FIT. So it would have been kind of cool I did some things with FIT when I was there. And so it would have been really neat to be able to walk a runway for Fashion Week, but at the same time, I'm okay with not winning. It was fun to just be involved.
Well, yeah, and then even to get to quarterfinals and even to be involved in the experience, and like you said, you want to kind of reminisce. You're thinking about going back to New York one more time and walking a runway, and you never know. And it's like the lottery. If you don't try, if you don't play, you can't win. It's so true. Lori, yes. What do you consider your most successful show so far in your 12-year career in comedy? Your most successful show that you've produced or promoted?
So that is so hard to say. So technically, I've been doing comedy for 12 years. And it was really open mics and things like that for the first, I would say, 9. And then I had kind of taken a break over COVID because, you know, people were getting canceled left and right. And I thought, I cannot get stoned in the street. That will hurt. I know. So I had taken a break. I didn't actually return to comedy again until December of 23. I did a show with Andy Kurtzman, who's an amazing producer and comedian as well, down in Goodview, Minnesota. And I realized, like, I've missed this. I really want to do this. And then I just I produced a showcase. I started an open mic. And so technically, since like 2024, I've kind of been building what I've been building throughout the last few years.
That's a lot of
So I
years.
don't want to make it sound like I've been doing, but my best show, it's so hard to say because we've had some incredible ones. I've had shows that have been sold out. I've had shows that they haven't been sold out, but there's such an thunderous, amazing applause, and they've been such amazing shows. I produce so many that it's hard to say like a favorite one. I just reopened the Comedy Bunker in Arden Hills, and we've had phenomenal lineups there. So every comedian that I work with, the majority of them are so incredibly talented. Some are huge comedians. I did a David Keckner show, which was incredible.
That's
that
great.
Again was at Lansing Corners. I've performed with I produced one with Mike Kaplan, which was such an honor. I was like, okay, Andy Kurtzman reached out, said, could you produce a show that Mike Kaplan can be in? I'm like, yes, I don't know that I can, but I'm going to do it, and we're going to figure it out. And it was really amazing. We did that at Charlie's as well. So, it's so hard to say because I have so many favorite shows that they all kind of hold like a special place. I recently just produced some shows. I was with Matt Farrell, who was also part of the Comedy Cartel. And he had never met me before, but trusted me to come out to Sioux Falls and Sioux City and do a 4-show, 3-night stint with me. And some of those shows were at like the show at Soho was phenomenal. It was so much fun. Matt is absolutely hysterically funny. And so that, is up there with one of my favorite shows. But we did a sold out show for the Manorville Theater Company, which I had Cheryl Anderson and Raymond Joseph and Zach Sharf at. That was phenomenal. So again, there's so many of them, but, being able to work with people that I've never worked with. Cameron Johnson from Kansas City has come and done the show at the Bunker with me. He's also come to Lansing Corners and Chip Shots. The shows I've done with him are also some of my favorite shows because he is just a stand-up king, if you will. So yeah, being able to work with these comedians, that's what makes it my favorite show. And each one has its own kind of light to it. So
Yes. So basically, when I had asked you, I had asked you basically what was your most successful, or like you said, favorite show. And there's so many, you really can't like pinpoint it to one. I get it, Laurie. It makes a lot of sense. I appreciate your honesty, and what a detailed answer that was. You get somebody coming in here saying, "What a beautiful personality Laurie has." Someone says here. Someone else says, "I got peeps out in Manico, if I'm pronouncing that correctly."
Mankato.
It's the idea of just getting out there and doing it, and if you love what you do, it shows in your work, and that's the truth, isn't it? Yeah, it really is.
It's amazing. This was my dream. Like I had always wanted to be a comedian. I always wanted to be on stand live or doing comedy, and I just never believed that I could do it or people would think I was funny. And then I realized people do think I'm funny, and I think I'm funny. So all of my comedy really comes from like conversations that I've had with people. And I'm kind of a smart ass and sarcastic, which kind of adds to my charm. And because people will be like, "Oh, you're so nice," which I am nice. I'm not always so nice, but I think that overall, like we can all laugh at ourselves, and being able to laugh at ourselves with others and just having those fun conversations has created a comedy career for me, which has been amazing. So my life is hysterical, I guess.
Well, Laurie, it really is a great pleasure to meet you, and it's a great pleasure to have you come on my podcast here tonight,
I'm so
live.
grateful.
And Laurie, I love this, how sincere you are. But we have something here with the 9 minutes left that I got to get to, and I know you know about it. Everybody loves it. It's called Dealing the Names. You got 5 names on your list. We're going to throw 5 names at you. Laurie has no idea what these names are. That's what makes this podcast so authentic and so enjoyable and entertaining, and sometimes absolutely hilarious. We're dealing the names. We got 5 names. One statement or one word, please, Laurie, when I throw the names at you. The first name on your list is Nikki Glazer.
Hysterical.
Very good.
Pioneer.
The second name on Dealing the Names on your list tonight, Lori Finlay's here tonight, episode 57, Wrestling with Comedy, is Alexis Dunn.
Alexis Dunn. Gorgeous, wonderful, fantastic, beautiful light, a ray of light in comedy.
Number 3 on Dealing the Names is on your list tonight, Lori Finlay, is Bear Love.
phenomenal. Just, he's been great for comedy. He's been great for comedians connecting. How can you not love that guy? And he's the reason you have me on your podcast.
There
so
you go.
Big shout out to you, Bear Love. Thank you so much.
There you go, Lori. There you go. And number 4 on Dealing the Names is Matt Farrell.
Hysterically funny, a gentleman, and kind. So very kind.
Excellente. And the last name on Dealing the Names here tonight, Wrestling with Comedy, episode 57. Lori Finlay's here. Her last name on her list tonight, Dealing the Names, is the late, great Richard Pryor.
Icon. Just an absolute icon. And one of the reasons I love comedy so much.
Really? See, I had no idea. Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure you know, and all the guests that have been on, we're episode 57. If you had any of the guests, Lori, and you included, Lori, you had no idea what these names were. I had no idea. We have never met in person. This is the first time we've actually spoke, and absolutely. And it makes it just right away, instantly. You feel the energy out of. I feel it out of you. You feel it out of me, and it makes the show so authentic. And these names are names that you had no idea. And I just threw these names together. And Richard Pryor is one of your inspirations. That's so great to hear. We have something called finish this statement, Lori. I'm going to start the statement, and you go ahead and finish it. Okay? It could be any statement at all. And here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I have to be ready. Otherwise,
oh boy.
Yeah, I always have to be ready. Okay, and here's the statement. The first year that I was in stand-up comedy, I expected
I was going to poop myself.
Okay.
Right on stage. Just right there. I actually had a note card that said, don't poop. I couldn't read any of my other notes, but that one I could read, and it just said, don't poop.
Unbelievable. That could have been a shitty situation, but it never happened.
It could have been hysterical. You never know.
It could have been, but that's just one of those things that, it's like, and like people ask, they say, well, how is it to get up on do stand up? It's really not an easy thing to do, but if you don't try it, you're never going to know if you have the love and the passion. But, you get, like you said, once you first start up, there's even more nerves, and it's, to get up there to be able to perform, it's not easy. Wrestling with
people tell me I'm kind of full of shit sometimes, so.
Well, there you go. Well, there you go.
Really aligned. I'm like, just don't let it out there.
Well, there you go. There's a callback right there. It's Lori Finlay, episode 57, Wrestling with Comedy. What an episode this is. We got about 5.5 minutes left. Lori, I'd like to ask you the question. I mean, time is flying when you have the action pack like this. We appreciate everybody joining us here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy. I would like to, as the host, ask you to please consider subscribing. We're at that 800 subscribers. We'd like to continue to bring those subscriptions up, to continue to put the work and the time in. Yeah, hit that button, and to be able to continue to bring in 2 live stream guests a week. I don't know of anybody else doing this. I mean, honestly, 2 live stream guests, and it's great, Lori, for the community, and it's great to be able to get to know each other and work together. And like you had said, I think you gave me an open invitation to maybe get a spot out there in Minnesota sometime. I really appreciate it. I would love to be out there, and and you never know what's next in life, and that's what it comes down to. Lori Finlay's here tonight, comedian, promoter, producer, based in Rochester, Minnesota, doing so much charity work and doing so much in the community in general. Lori, a real quick question here, and it's something that I want to ask you because I know you have your sights on the future. What are your future goals in 2027?
My future goals in 2027 is to get to more states, to perform in more venues, meet more comedians, continue to produce shows, but also perform in them. I think one thing for me is when I produce the show, I don't want to put myself as a headliner. I want to make sure that I'm giving the love to others. So it's being able to have the opportunities to perform in other venues as well, that I'm not producing the show and that I can headline, I can feature, and just to be able to meet all of the comedians out there and be able to give them opportunities and collaborate with others. I think just growing it more and more is what it's all about. And being able to hit all of the stages, that would be amazing. So I invite everyone to come and perform with me, and hopefully we can set up some times for me to come and perform with you guys. So
that's right, and that's what it's all about, and it's so great to be able to do that. Lori, we got about 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. Before we get to your social media, I would like to ask you a question. Let the people know, what is the funniest moment that you can think of, a road story or on stage or a blooper, something funny for the people, because they're here, they're right here for you tonight.
Well, one of the shows I had done in Sioux City, it was actually really funny. There was a gentleman.
Excuse me 1 second. Is Sioux City, Minnesota?
Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, Iowa. Okay, all right.
Yep.
Okay, I didn't pass history, so.
There was a gentleman who actually, we'll call him Butterballs because that's his son's nickname for him. And Butterballs just kind of all of a sudden screamed out at me like, "Do you like cats?" And I was like,
"Oh shit."
I'm like, okay, I think that's because I'm Asian. So I was just like, well, that depends. How are they prepared? Right?
Oh, you came back with that.
Well, then he had a follow-up question, and that was, well, do you have any cats? And I was like, well, apparently you weren't listening because not anymore, you know?
Oh, wow.
So that was really funny. And then I had a Father's Day show we had done recently at Lansing Corners, and I was talking about the girls, and I kind of had asked the gentleman that was sitting next to a young lady. I was like, well, yeah, she's got really nice girls, right? And he went, I'm her dad. And I just went, oh my goodness.
That is embarrassing moment, but you're dealing with hecklers. Then you're spontaneous, an awkward situation, hilarious situation. Lori Finlay's here tonight. We got about 2 minutes left here. Before we say goodnight, real quick, Lori, your social media.
At Lafin69 on Instagram, and then you can find me Lori Finlay. It's like Funlay with an I on Facebook, and then my TikTok, I actually believe it's under Lafin Comedy.
That's great. That's great. Reach out to Lori. She is so pleasant to talk to. I'm sure she'll help you out if you have any questions, if you want to get into stand-up comedy or in the Minnesota area, or if you have some spots, maybe because she's going to be doing a lot of traveling herself. She's doing so much in the community, so much in stand-up comedy. Keep your eye out for this lady here, Lori Finlay, out of Rochester, Minnesota, comedian, promoter, producer, and she's making her way up continuously in stand-up comedy, and she has some future goals. We are so happy to have her here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy. Lori, thank you
so much, Joel.
Thank you, Lori, for being here. And I just want to let all the people know, until next time, keep it real at all costs. Good night, everybody.